I am here to announce, declare, and intransigently defend an agenda built around 4 action points. First, to pivot from a resource-based economy to a diversified, services-led economy that creates high-value employment, attracts long-term investment, and builds globally competitive institutions. Second, to establish Botswana as a regional anchor for cross-border financial activity. Third, to leverage the country's legal certainty, political stability, and reputational standing. And fourth, to deliver sustainable economic value in alignment with that charter of aspirations that is the manifesto of the current government. This agenda delivers a shift that enhances macroeconomic stability, increases resilience to exogenous shocks, and fosters a broader and more equitable growth model. It enables us to find new revenue streams, professional sectors, and business ecosystems. I'm here to announce and launch the development of the Botswana Economic Transformation Program, our grand mission to dismantle bureaucratic inertia and build a fast and fearless delivery culture. We will, in this transformation journey, not crawl, but sprint. We will attract local and international investors with precision, purpose, and a world-class, fully actionable execution framework. Compatriots, Dubai, which stands out as a good model of economic development, built itself from a desert to a global capital, not with oil, but with vision, speed, and a government that knew when to lead and when to get out of the way. Singapore also rose from swamp to sovereign financial powerhouse because it embraced the private sector as a primary agent of national wealth. We have an urgent call to emulate these examples and to do it faster. Thus, our economic transformation program will be both a catalyst and a vehicle to power the country's transformation into a more diversified, resilient, and globally connected economy. This transformation is not only about unleashing private capital, it is equally about unlocking the latent impulsions and potentialities within our public sector and our communities. We are building a new Botswana, the Second Republic, where the public service is not a gatekeeper of the past, but a laboratory for forward-thinking policy, digital delivery, and citizen-centric operational readiness. The National Planning Commission, as our compass for long-term strategy, will remain at the heart of this and ensure that every government initiative is anchored in coherence, national vision, and public value. We will attract not just private entrepreneurship, but also social innovators, those bold thinkers and change makers who do not build empires for profit alone, but solve deep societal challenges with dignity and compassion. We are undertaking a bold and radical shift in how we plan, not just what we plan. Gone are the days of abstract plans, tantalizing but hazy promises buried in mountains of reports. We are replacing traditional process-heavy planning with a bold implementation-based model, one that begins with action, assigns responsibility, and ends with results. Ministries will no longer operate on vague mandates and exaggerated expectations, but will work with specific, time-bound, and measurable targets. Each institution will be accountable for targets and outcomes fully aligned with the precepts of Vision 2036, as well as the more proximate pathways set out in the manifesto of the Umbrella for Democratic Change. Key performance indicators will no longer be optional. They will be the scorecard by which performance is judged. And this transformation will not happen doors. It will not be shrouded in secrecy. We are committed to radical transparency, publishing progress, acknowledging setbacks, and keeping Botswana informed at every step. Because transformation is not a document, it is a discipline. And our discipline now is delivery. This transformation impels us to strive always to know the best that is known and thought in the world. We need deep domain experts to come think with us. I am pleased to announce, therefore, that Botswana has formally engaged Pemandu Associates, one of the world's most elite transformation firms. Their work has been endorsed by Harvard, Princeton, Bloomberg, and the World Bank. This is not consultancy, but war room execution. Pemandu has helped turn Malaysia into a high-income nation, helped Dubai deliver world-class government reforms, and worked with Tanzania and Rwanda to unlock billions in investments. They are already on the ground, and they will work hand in hand with our government, private sector, and citizens to implement Botswana's boldest economic transformation ever attempted. We are not starting from scratch. Botswana has already drawn tremendous interest from investors. This interest must now become investment. Through Pemandu's Big Fast Result methodology, we will use economic laboratories to problem-solve ideas from the government. Local and foreign investors will be rigorously tested, refined, and fast-tracked into action. The labs will unlock bottlenecks, eliminate bureaucracy, and provide single-window clarity for any government initiative or potential private investment. If you are an investor, we encourage you to submit your transformative ideas to the labs. Bring your capital, bring your courage, and we will match it with speed and certainty. To the Cabinet and the public service, I'm not asking for change. I am demanding it. We will introduce a presidential delivery dashboard. Every week, the Vice President and I will review implementation progress with the ministers and report to the nation every quarter. To the private sector, this is your moment. We are not here to regulate you into submission, but to partner with you to success. We want your transformative ideas, your capital, and your innovation. To the youth, you are not leaders of tomorrow, but you are the builders of today. We are clearing the path so that your dreams can no longer land on red tape, but land on runways. This transformation is not for the few. It is for every village, every town, and every Botswana. The Vice President and Minister of Finance will give more detail on the Botswana Economic Transformation Program and the next steps. This moment requires courageous leaders of vision, intelligence, and integrity. I close by affirming our ardent hope, our forward stride, and our gaze firmly fixed on the future, a future that is spectacularly different from what we are currently burdened with.
President Boko had a clear message. Bring your capital, bring your courage, and we'll bring speed and certainty. Enter Finance Minister and VP, Ndabagalatle. He called the BETP a moral imperative, not just another policy. He broke down plans for state-owned enterprise reforms, public-private partnerships, digitizing government services, empowering youth and women in the economy.
We owe it to the next generation of Botswana to build a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and tech-forward. This morning, we heard a clarion call from the President, an articulation of Botswana's economic vision. He made it clear that we will not wait for prosperity, but we shall construct it, and we shall do it decisively, urgently, and collectively. Let me borrow from the words of a wise leader, that no problem of human making is too great to be overcome by human ingenuity, human energy, and the untiring hope of the human spirit. Botswana is not short of ambition or strategies. Where we have faltered has been in execution. Therefore, we need to adopt an approach that would immediately address the issue of execution. Too many ideas with strong economic fundamentals have been immobilized, not by lack of value, but by red tape, by indecision, and by institutional fragmentation. We must now usher in a new era, one in which our institutions act with agility, with precision, and with delivery discipline. The Botswana Economic Transformation Program is not a new report. Far from it. It's a delivery architecture, a disciplined mechanism to translate good policy into real outcomes. The program is structured into four phases. The first is around diagnostics, a rigorous review of our current baseline, of our policy gaps, and our execution friction points. 2, strategic alignment. Cabinet and other stakeholders are and will continue to be in a process to identify our true north. That is, the sectors that offer the most catalytic growth. 3, economic labs. 4 weeks of a cross-sector collaboration to interrogate and convert ideas into execution-ready projects. 4, execution. And this is a roadmap with measurable performance indicators, accountability mechanisms, and transparent governance. One might ask the question, what is different this time? With this approach, execution leads. This is not a theoretical framework, but a delivery-first model. The program is government-owned and coordinated across ministries, supported by Pemandu Associates' Big Fast Results methodology. This support provides global benchmarking and technical depth, but the leadership and accountability remains with the state. The Botswana Economic Transformation Program is, first, inclusive. It's an inclusive program. This is open to every Motswana, from cooperatives and social entrepreneurs to SMEs, informal sector, investors, and public servants. Two, it is time-bound. We move from idea generation to execution roadmap within 12 weeks. Three, it is data-driven. Every single project will undergo structured analysis, evaluating return on investment, employment potential, and strategic alignment. And today we officially launch the call for ideas. The call for ideas. For 4 weeks, we are inviting submissions of bold, scalable projects, public sector reforms, and high-impact operational proposals. And the website will be the fountain, will be the oasis where those will be submitted. Let me illustrate the type of ideas that merit serious engagement. And these are just examples. One example of this type is an idea that deserves proper scrutiny and action. It's a proposal by a local company, Kalahari Breweries, a proposal to reduce alcohol levy on locally produced beer from 35% to 15%. KBL argues that the current levy is not only failing in its public health objectives, but it is also hurting formal employment. It is hurting investment. It is hurting government revenue. This is what they say. Their proposal, which is on the table now, estimates significant economic upside, increasing government revenue through broader compliance, localizing inputs like beer powder to stimulate agriculture and agricultural value chains, and growing overall sector turnover. The economic labs will provide us a structured platform where such proposals, with inputs from health officials, tax experts, economists, and regulators, can be rigorously tested. Decisions can then be made swiftly, balancing public health concerns with economic growth potential. Another example, listen to this. An example of indecision in the government system that has held back progress is the case of the Special Economic Zones Authority. For nearly 6 years, CESA, this authority, has struggled to gain access to key parcels of land that is already owned by government. And the problem is simply that no one wants to take responsibility to make a decision. For 6 years, debating back and forth, about land that already belongs to government. The economic labs will be our battlefield for execution. No idea will sit in limbo. Ministries, regulators, financiers, and proposers will co-evaluate viable solutions. Let me be clear that transformation will be painful. Painful at first. It demands speed, it demands courage, it demands a willingness to disrupt the familiar. But stagnation is far more costlier for this nation. We have chosen not to delay action for the sake of reform. Instead, we are forcing reform through action. That is the only way to avoid being in the same place 3 years from now. This marks a departure from traditional national planning, which is often too abstract and too slow. Botswana Economic Transformation Program brings rigor, brings agility, and brings real-time decision-making to development planning. In terms of government planning, let me also say that the wish list culture that has long characterized our national development plans, the habit of inserting projects without proper cost-benefit analysis, projects without feasibility, projects without alignment with long-term economic impact will be changed. Through this PEMANDO Big Fast Results methodology, we will invest necessary time and technical discipline to rigorously interrogate every submitted project, its viability, its returns, its job creation potential, and its strategic fit with our transformation goals. The next national plan, informed directly by the outcomes of the Economic Transformation Program, will be unlike any other before it. As the President has already stated, we are moving from paper plans to performance blueprints. We have heard from the private sector that too many of them have approached government only to be passed around without a decision. I reiterate that this must end. Under the Botswana Economic Transformation Program, all ideas will be evaluated quickly and transparently. Ministries and regulators will be in the room, the same room, with the authority to decide. Projects that do not need government funding will be fast-tracked. Ladies and gentlemen, parallel to economic labs, we will also convene what are called social labs to ensure that the Big Fast Results methodology is applied holistically. These social labs will focus on addressing societal challenges through inclusive dialogue, co-creation, and innovation. Their aim is to surface practical solutions in areas such as community livelihoods, youth engagement, public health, and social cohesion, ensuring that economic transformation is grounded in the lived realities and aspirations of our people. Botswana's transformation cannot be government's task alone. The answers lie with our people. The answers lie and emanate from unexpected places. And our job as government is to bring those ideas to life. We are calling for bold and transformative investments. A few examples of transformative projects also include These are already on the table. The building of a global airport and cargo and logistics hub, rail corridors connecting us to Namibia, to Kazungula, and to the ports through Lephalale, to turn around our export-oriented parastatals, including Botswana Meat Commission, Botswana Vaccine Institute, and others, global standard special economic zones with embedded value chains. Our real economy must deliver jobs. Not just jobs, high-value jobs. Not just high-value jobs, but jobs at scale. Hundreds and thousands of them per year. Diversification is not a policy objective anymore. It is a survival imperative for the people of Botswana. We must build an economy that feeds itself and exports to others. From food to fintech, we are already accelerating TVET reforms and investing in artificial intelligence and digital capabilities to prepare our workforce for industries that do not yet exist. And most critically, this program is for all. It's for all of us, the informal sector, cooperatives, community enterprises, youth-led SMEs, Bomadi Mausu, Boradi Mausu. All of you are encouraged to submit transformative ideas for consideration.